Hey ballers, welcome to If These Balls Could Talk, the podcast that swears the Knicks Celtics series will give us heart attacks. This is Mark along with John and our producer Pete, and we're getting ready to discuss the latest in sports, tech, and pop culture. If you like what you hear or see, please like us or hit that subscribe button, or as I like to say, tickle that little bell.
Tickle.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all, Mark. It makes me uncomfortable.
We would like to welcome to the podcast my boss, Yvonne Sousa. What's going on, Yvonne?
Hello.
Hey, girl. You're welcome.
Glad to finally have you.
Time's a charm. Yeah, we've...
No, this is 3, right?
Time, I think.
No, this is 3.
I think it is 3.
Hey, all that
2
matters.
strikeouts.
All that matters.
But you hit it on.
She's
You
here
hit it on the
today.
third pitch.
She's here tonight.
So we're good.
We're way past her bedtime, we've been told, but then again...
Oh no.
Oh, it's gonna get late.
It's gonna
I'll try to keep it.
about-
We'll try to keep it a quick show, ish. And by quick, that's still like 2 hours.
My new man
we'll try
crush,
to.
Jackson Dart.
Ooh, I'm excited to hear about
talking
this.
about that.
Okay.
Anyway, John, how you been?
I'm okay, man. What's up?
Did you have ice cream
Let's see.
today?
We didn't have ice cream today. Jamie switched it up, and she wanted to go to Starbucks, and I can't deny my teenage daughter Starbucks, so we had cake pops.
What's
and-
Starbucks? Is that like Arby's in space?
No, it's Starbucks.
Oh,
Oh, you don't have a teenager.
Starbucks.
Starbucks in space.
Arby's in space. I don't know.
You sound so old right now.
Dude, my kid's
God.
lingo is all done, and like
Oh my God.
hi.
Can we talk
and,
about, and we're going to talk
and
about Pete's kid
agua,
more.
which
but
is so
Pete's
he says
wife,
bar in Spanish
the
and
creative
says
director,
akbar.
Stephanie, she just shared a little stealth video of him, and he was jamming out to his coffee machine. It was so fucking cute.
At the coffee machine plays pop songs about
it does.
about making coffee. It's hilarious.
And he was just like, he didn't know anybody was watching him. He was so excited.
He was just in his own moment.
So excited that his coffee machine was jamming out.
And then at the end
Let's
of
see what happened.
yeah, at the end of it, he's like, "Yeah!" It's so cute.
He is
Yeah.
going to be a effing rock star. It's not like Pete likes music, though. Let's see. We didn't watch shows, but we did play Overwatch. Jamie went to physical therapy for the first time today because she's working through her thing, and that went pretty well.
That's good.
So just kind of taking it day by day. What's going on with you, Mark?
You know
Are you excited about Mark? Are you excited about something that just happened?
No.
Not until it's done, man. Not until it's done.
Exactly. You don't. Talk
Not
about
until
Bruno.
it's done. Same
We don't
here.
talk about Bruno. I will say this. So I've been. There's a show that I've been watching that I forgot how good it was, and I forgot that this is the last season. The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. I've been watching season 6, and I'm all caught up on that now. And I forgot how great of a show that was.
Dude, that show has been great the whole way through.
Yvonne, I know you have a book club, and maybe that's a good book for y'all to read. Is The Handmaid's Tale?
Y'all?
Yeah, I haven't watched the show yet, so I won't. There won't be any spoilers.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Add that
Well,
to the list.
Supposedly, I think the book doesn't go nearly as far forward in time as the show. So the book would be an awesome, probably premise to get you into that world.
Right.
And I've heard it's incredible. That's like one of those like Margaret Atwood with like Handmaid's Tale and Orson Welles in 1984. It's like one of those like, oh fuck, because we realize it's like very close to that right now.
The best media comes from good screenplays, and generally good screenplays come from good books. I.e., Game of Thrones before Weiss and Benioff ruined it.
Womp womp womp. Do we have that sound anymore?
Of course we do. We have everything. But we don't call out the sounds. Just do them, guys. We're professionals.
That was a legit question. I didn't know if we had the sound.
We also have.
No, don't call it.
Pete,
That's my
what's
sorry,
what's up
Bob.
with you?
So we got out. We escaped last weekend, and happy Mother's Day, by the way, to all the mothers. And we took that weekend to go out to a cabin in the Adirondacks. So it was our kind of first little family retreat. Was just the 3 of us for the whole weekend, and there's this gorgeous one on Long Lake. It's like near Tupper Lake in that kind of area. So we took Liam on his first hike. It was a short one, like 1.25 miles or like 0.9 miles to 1.25 miles out and back, but it was a summit. So he walked a little bit of it, and then I had to carry him in a sling thing. That was pretty neat. So, but he loved it.
I mean, had to. You have been dreaming of carrying your child on a hike in a sling. This is like literally like a life goal for you, I think, right?
It's a big moment. Well, the life goal will be when he's hiking alongside of us.
I mean, he will, though.
He will.
Because you'll make him.
He
and
loves
kids Kids pretty much do whatever you think is cool because they're like, well, this is cool. My parents think it's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, he took the whole trip in stride. He loved every second of it, from like the cabin and opening and closing all the doors and running around in there to like going out down to what tiny little beach was there. He was like,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, just playing on the hike. He was like, at the summit, he was super hangry though, so we just gave him this banana, and he just like housed this banana in like 1 minute.
And then you took his crackers away, and he cried.
Oh yes, as one does.
As one does.
So mean.
No, it was a ton of fun, and that I've been trying to get as much running in as I can to make up for not being able to run at all in April, or ski, which pisses me off. I miss ski season. But
hey, Yvonne, do you want to ski with Pete next week for his birthday?
No,
been asking everyone.
It's closed.
I snowboard.
Hey, that's fine. That's totally works.
I'm all good with that. No, we
were actually looking at something today. There's still like 15 mountains open.
Where?
So wow. Still a possibility. Banff is still open in Canada. Actually.
Oh, Banff. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the Canadian Rockies for sure. But sadly, Killington shut down a week early.
I know.
Sad panda.
I know.
I mean, it was like 85 degrees out today.
Yeah, they were literally skiing. I saw a video of the closing day was last Sunday, and they were literally skiing half the trail over mud.
Yes, I saw that too.
But they were still skiing it and like hot dogging, and I was like, dude, these guys are insane. Yeah. So all right, next season, Yvonne, we'll go.
All right, I'm ready.
Awesome.
Nice.
Hey everyone, why did the hockey puck do yoga?
Why?
Why, Mark?
So it could warm up before getting iced. It's time for warm up your balls. During this segment, Pete will spin the wheel that will randomly select the question for our guests to answer. Are you ready, Pete?
I am. Shall we? All right. The way this works, Yvonne, is you get first dibs as our guest on all of these questions, so they will be directed to you.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. I will try not to Italian all over it.
It's nothing like too personal, although, and these are from mostly from ChatGPT.
Okay. Well, this is a nice, easier one to start. Maybe. What is your earliest childhood memory?
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Some of them are deep.
Easy one.
I mean,
earliest childhood memory. Oh God, I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
Even if it's just like a quick glimpse of something.
Actually, I do know, but it's not a nice story to tell.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah. All of my early childhood memories are like severely traumatic.
I definitely may have slapped a girl who fell right down a flight of stairs.
Whoa!
She was being mean.
How old were you?
Did you slap her and then she fell, or did you slap her because she fell? Like, what's going on?
Slapped her. It was self-defense. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I slapped her and she fell.
I mean, she deserved it then.
And how old were you?
I was definitely not. I don't even think I was 5 yet. Yeah.
That's all. I mean, you got
self-defense, guys.
Yeah, you got to protect yourself. That's important.
There you go.
I used to have.
Kids are brutal.
I used to have a memory of the wallpaper in the house that I left when I was 3. Yeah. And I don't know if I now have that memory because I have remembered having that memory. Like it gets a little fuzzy, right? You're like, you tell a story so many times that you're like, have a memory of the memory. But
that's like a copy of a VHS.
Yeah, for sure.
Degrades over time.
And I think one of my earliest memories, and I was literally just telling the story to Jamie today because we were talking about Italian people, is walking through Saratoga Race Course with my Uncle Joe and telling people that, and Uncle Joe was kind of a big dude, telling that he was a member of the Fat Man Olympic team.
What?
Yeah, I was like 8 years old, and I was just like right on with him. And this dude, my Uncle Joe, very like. What are you gonna say, Pete?
I was gonna say every story you tell of him, he just seems like a crazy character.
Larger than life. But we would walk through Saratoga Racecourse, and if anybody who doesn't know, Saratoga is just like a lot of open space and picnic tables, and you walk and you eat, and it's a great time. Anybody who hasn't gone should go. But he would talk to strangers. This is how I learned to talk to strangers from him. And he would be like, he would be standing next to somebody, be like, "Hey, did you know that I'm an Olympian?" It's like, "You're an Olympian?" Uncle Joe's like 300 pounds. He's a fat guy. And he's like, "Yeah, I was an Olympian. I was part of the Fat Man Olympic team in the pole vault." And I'm like, "Yeah, 8 years old." I'd be like, "Yeah, pole vault. He won the silver medal." And the people would be like, and we just walk away.
I really want to see a 300-pound man try to pole vault. That's gotta be hilarious.
We come up with just the most ridiculous shit. And rest in peace, Uncle Joe. He was the man for sure.
So Uncle Joe.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, next question.
Yvonne's getting some more love from the kiddies here.
All right.
Oh my god!
I think oh no, yeah. I would say I think we went over some early childhood memories of mine and Doug's when he was on. So we'll leave it there. Go watch that episode.
You can tell them.
Oh,
this is the sharing portion of the show, Pete.
I'll be quick. So this isn't my earliest one, but it is an early one. We were just talking about this over the weekend at the cabin, where the reason I didn't get into beer until I was way older, like 2021, was because my dad had this brilliant idea of just giving me beer when I was
21, Pete.
No, 20 or 21 years old.
He was 20 or 21. Not the year 2021.
It was not 2021. No. I was 20 or 21.
I drank beer with you before then.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I was saying. So my dad had this brilliant idea of like, hey, he's 3 years old. I bet if I just give him beer, then he'll think it's absolutely disgusting and never want to drink it again. And he was right. So I have the memory of a green glass bottle, whatever beer that was, and him just like pouring it down, and I had no clue what to expect. It was when they were like working in the house, so they were probably half drunk after like a long day of work. And of course, my uncles and stuff are all laughing, and I'm take this, and I'm like it was gross, but it worked. All right.
Well, I've done if you liked it.
Next question, and I already spun the wheel.
I think my cousin loved wine when she was 8 years old.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get drunk for the first time in Italy on wine when I was 9. I did.
That's probably legal there, so that's fine.
It's fine.
Legal-ish enough. He could walk.
Pretty legal.
All right. So, Yvonne, here's another question for you to lead off with. If you could live in any movie or TV universe, which one would it be?
Oh. Any movie or TV universe?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like the best one. It's just whatever comes to mind.
Well, I don't know.
Or any kind of fictional kind of...
Yeah, it could be a book, too.
Well, then I'd get a weird red room on you, so that'd be weird.
You want to be a widow?
Hey.
I love this. They're not nice to you, though. But you do learn to murder really good.
I don't know, I'm kind of like a Criminal Minds junkie. I would probably want to live on that TV show for sure.
You know what's a cool ass universe?
Like, as a detective?
The John Wick universe is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
The show actually really good. They're doing a spinoff, and it's about a girl, John Wick. It's called Ballerina.
Yeah.
I think it comes out this summer.
It does.
I like those movies a lot.
I just saw that John Wick 4 is on Peacock now, so that's on the list.
It was very good.
I haven't seen 4 yet.
Oh, it's really good.
I mean, those movies are fucking stupid, but they're so fun. And he murders so many people, and he's so good with guns. Yeah. I heard a fan theory that John Wick is a version of Neo in the Matrix.
Huh.
I mean, you got Lawrence Fishburne in that movie too.
Oh, he is in the John Wick? I haven't.
Right.
So this is a glaring hole in my moviedom. I need to watch John Wick.
You haven't even seen John Wick 1?
No, there's 4 of them, right?
Oh,
yes.
Christ. Don't kill his fucking dog.
Oh, I have heard that is what started the whole thing, pretty much.
All right, next question.
Okay.
I add that in post, Pete.
Well, just in case. Now you don't have to add that one.
No, I'm gonna.
Okay. Would you rather explore space or the deep ocean? All very heady
Considering
questions.
I cannot effectively swim, I'm going with space.
Ooh.
Okay.
Well, you can't exactly breathe in space either.
I'm gonna go with
Can't drown
space
there, though.
too. The deep ocean is fucking terrifying.
Right.
So
How
it's-
is it more
There's scary
terrifying than
animals down there.
space?
Yes.
We don't know what's down there. As deep as
I know.
we've gotten, there are stealth friggin' monsters that
Yeah.
will, like the one that like lights up and has like this big talon on it. Like there's giant whales. I mean, there's so many things that can kill you in the deep ocean, and there's just nothing in space.
Also, just
So-
stepping out of your submersible would almost instantly. So how would you rather die than if something went wrong? Like getting smashed by
rather
ridiculous,
die.
unfathomable amounts of pressure and squished like a bug, or
freeze to death.
or have
Third.
zero pressure and all of your organs simultaneously exploding and freezing and popping, and all of your fluids rushing out of your body as fast as possible.
Pete, you're not good at this game.
So which that's only
You're
it's only
so
one wrong.
bad at it.
No, okay.
There are scarier monsters in the deep ocean. This is not a question.
Yeah, and also like the stuff. Okay, so if we could use like the Cosmos ship, right, that can just go anywhere and is protected. Hell yeah, I'd do space. You could explore so many cool things.
Okay. Space is cooler too. I
Yeah,
mean,
like, what do you got,
right?
like-
More to see.
I'm in the minority here. I'd much rather do the deep ocean.
Deep ocean.
Like,
What?
I'm just so curious what's down there, and it's.
Haven't you
it's
seen the
untapped.
abyss? We already know.
And the
I've
book
seen
Sphere.
And the book
I've
Sphere.
seen lots of movies that where people in outer space too. People die in outer space too. So
They do.
I don't know. Less people.
But they can't be eaten by sharks in outer space.
I mean, maybe space sharks.
you don't know that.
Depends on where you visit.
No, it's okay. Jason Statham is in the deep ocean. He'll keep us safe.
That's true.
Awesome. All right.
One more.
One more.
Yeah, we have time for one more.
All right. Last question. If you had to teach a class on any topic, what would it be?
I would probably say firearms, like shooting.
Ooh.
So this would be like your master
Yeah.
class that people would like sign up for.
Yeah, competitive
Wow.
shooting. I used to do it.
Damn.
What do you shoot?
We've yet to go to the range together.
I
do
know. 3-gun. But I haven't done it in forever because we never have
That's
time.
amazing. So cool.
So
Pete and I, probably both of us on the same day, shot firearms for the first time at our buddy Colin's bachelor party at a really, really great shooting range in Troy. Not a sponsor.
I would say that was my
And,
first shooting range. Technically, I was shooting like machine guns into a mountain in Alaska before that. But
Well, Pete shot a giant shotgun.
I did
which
shoot
is
a giant
awesome.
shotgun.
And we shot a Davy Crockett rifle with like a total
It had the pump.
kickback
It
and
had the
everything.
pump loader on the bottom.
We shot a lot of cool shit. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
and
so
also,
marking them
we
on,
both
then you
shot
two definitely have to
ARs,
get out
and I
shooting.
was terrified at how easy it is to shoot an AR.
It's way too easy
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah,
shoot
it
and
is.
aim that thing. It's just like okay, doot 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 doot.
Boop. Very accurate. Boop. Very accurate. Just like playing video games. Like, oh, wow,
If
I
you
can
ever
shoot
go
a gun.
to Vegas, you got to go to one of their gun ranges. You can pretty much shoot anything.
Oh wow. Oh,
Like
Vegas.
auto, everything.
Yeah, that is so our buddy Colin almost went to Vegas for his bachelor party and his wedding. He went to Vegas for his wedding, but for his bachelor party. And he was like, I want to shoot a big gun. He was like, I want to shoot a chain gun, like something big.
What? Oh right, because you could do that in Vegas. That would be
He's
interesting.
He's
What's-
a fucking wild man, though.
What's the craziest gun that you've shot, Yvonne?
So actually, I shot the minigun in Vegas, and it's like 100 rounds in 3 seconds.
Oh my god.
It was wild.
Yeah. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
It was
Did you
so fun.
shoot it
Damn.
at something like a car or a wall?
A wall? Yeah.
A wall.
Did the wall explode like I imagine it?
There's definitely a lot of holes. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's just like, and you can't really control it. It's all over the place.
I mean,
Ah, I
it's a
love it.
freaking minigun. It's right.
All right.
It's
That
It was
scene
badass.
from T2 is like iconic, but just the the gun's humongous. I love that it's
I
called
think
minigun.
that pictures of Yvonne with a minigun need to be on
Yeah,
all the
can
things.
that be the show picture? That'd be incredible.
Yes.
I have one. I'll
Yes.
find
All right, now we're gonna hand things off to Pete for.
Bonus topic. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up at this point. Okay, so guys,
It's all good, man.
the NFL schedule was released, and I don't know if you guys have had time to peruse it. So we've had everything from the typical teams' weird and funny and crazy schedule release videos that they all tend to do. Apparently, one of them was made like a pharmaceutical ad, and all the teams were the side effects. The Bills did one that was pretty funny. It was like Brandon being the GM is like, "Hey Josh, like we had to do a video like right away. I forgot." And Josh is like, "But just have AI do it." And he's like, "AI." So they get who is it? Alvin Iverson. Wait, what is the basketball player?
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. Yeah. So they got
Allen Iverson got old, by the way, Mark.
Yeah. So Brandon Bean's like, "Okay, AI. Okay, yeah, I'll get AI," and he gets Allen Iverson to announce the schedule, and he literally was just like, "I'm not even a Bills fan, but here," and he just holds up a sheet of paper with the schedule.
Okay, he was literally like, "This is the schedule."
Yeah.
He looked at it. He was like,
and they're like,
"It's the schedule."
They're like, "Can you say go Bills?" He's like, "Go Josh Allen," and then he ran away. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
when did this become a thing?
Years ago.
It's a huge event now that like the NFL released the schedule and every team wants to make their own video.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the Giants did a video. On or John, or did you
I am very sad about the Giants schedule. Someone doesn't like us.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Real.
You guys are in Murderer's Row for like the first 4 or 5 weeks.
Sucks.
Well, you are in a very difficult division, first of all.
That's true. We have to play all those assholes twice.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Oh. Although there is a big game happening in December in Foxborough.
December 1st.
Mm-hmm. Monday Night Football of all things too.
We're getting a Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
Mark, are you buying me a ticket?
No.
That's right.
I went to a Monday Night Football game in Foxborough. I shit you not. I got home at 6 a.m.
Oh my
I
god!
totally believe that.
I worked at General Dynamics, and a friend of mine got tickets for being awesome. And he was like, "Hey, you want to go to Monday Night Football?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want to go to Monday Night Football." And they were playing the Bills, and Shady ran the shit out of. I mean, they lost, but Shady played really well. Sean McCoy, and
the Bills lost, yeah.
Yeah, obviously they lost.
As would happen in the Tom Brady era very often. I think
very often.
All but 3 times in 20 years.
I don't know if my friend knew about Foxborough, but I think we parked in the wrong place, and we didn't move for 2 hours after the game.
No, that's just how it is.
Gosh.
And I was literally just like, and I worked in Pittsfield, which is a hour 10 away from my house. So I had to drive back. I had to drive home, and then I had to go to work. And I'm just like, that was when I was dumb.
That's when you were a lot younger than we are now.
Yes.
I wasn't that much younger.
Now only Pete and I are crazy enough to drive in the middle of the night.
Yeah, Mark and I just
game.
did something similar. Not 6 a.m., but it was like 2 a.m. for going to see the Mets. Yeah, that was another thing we did this past weekend. We saw a Mets game with Jeffem.
It was funny though, because when I was telling everyone, "Oh yeah, I went to New York on Monday," and everyone thought I went to the Knicks game.
Well,
you weren't even in New York.
You were watching.
I did think you were.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the next borough over, John.
They were.
So everyone,
yes, the next borough over.
My other topic that I was going to get to is part of what I'm really excited for this season. I need to go to a Bills game because this is the last year of the Buffalo's stadium. It was inaugurated in the 1973 season. My parents were at the first game there.
But it's falling apart.
It's falling apart. It's over 50 years old. It's time for a new one. But it's still like the memories of that place. It's insane. So I have to, Steph and I are trying to figure out which game we want to go to, but we need to go to
I'm going to watch your child.
You got to take Liam. Oh, Liam's not going to go?
Probably not. I mean, we'll probably...
No, that's
we got to figure out whether we leave him with my parents in Buffalo or...
That's a terrible idea.
That's a terrible idea.
No.
Well, what I was going to say, though, is that I know, you guys have all probably been to older stadiums that are no longer there for your respective teams. Do you have any memories of trying to like get to a final game or any like nostalgic things about an old stadium that's no longer there? Any stories like the old Yankee Stadium? Boston has gone through like the stadium before Gillette Stadium, right? For the Patriots. They were like,
let's just talk about old Yankee Stadium.
Garbage.
Old Yankee Stadium for a second. They literally moved. So one of the parking lots of old Yankee Stadium or of new Yankee Stadium is old Yankee Stadium. They literally built it next door, and so a lot of the game. Obviously it's nicer and newer, but a lot of it feels the same. The bars are the same, and the drive is the same, and the parking lots are the same. So they didn't really change a lot. MetLife is new, but still Jersey, that's been the same. So like a lot of the New York changes haven't been that drastic in my lifetime. The Nets moved to Brooklyn, and I used to go to a lot of Nets games in the Meadowlands, but I don't like the Nets. I don't care. So, there are not a lot of really changes. The changes are sort of inconsequential. What I think is cool is that they're keeping the name for the Bills, and it's pretty close by.
It's across the street.
Right, it's across the street. So I think it's the same. I don't think it's changing a lot for you.
I have a picture when I was over there of both stadiums in the same frame.
Now, what I just realized is my company has 2 offices in Buffalo, one in Buffalo and one in Southern Tier. Ooh. And they're doing the summer event in New Highmark Stadium. So I am trying to figure out a way. I'm trying to figure out a way to get there on business and then go to the party and see New Highmark Stadium and send you pictures.
That'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, because I'm
trying, man.
It's all like all the structural parts are done. They're starting to
they're hosting events.
Yeah, they're literally starting to flesh out the interior, put the seats
this
in.
Event
like
will be in June, July, and they're hosting our corporate event.
Fantastic. So, Yvonne, any old stadium memories of ones gone by or new ones that you've done, or just any just good?
I feel like I only started going to like actual live sporting events when I became an adult. My family's not very sporty unless it's soccer, but I'm Portuguese, so you know.
Well, how was that experience? And finally going to like you've seen them on TV and stuff. Did it feel really cool to finally go to one in person?
Oh yeah, I love watching it live. Absolutely.
Are there soccer hooligans in the MLS?
So they've created a monster with you now, finally going to live.
Out in the Northeast.
Oh yeah. Poor Mark. He gets roped into going to games. Tough life.
Poor Mark.
Tough.
We're bad influences on each other.
That's true.
Can you guys go you guys go to Florida and see Messi next year before he retires? That seems like a good idea.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Used to go down to Miami.
Yeah, she used to go to Miami, meet Messi.
Wow.
Cool pink uniforms.
All right, we would like to thank one of this week's fake sponsors, FlexiDesk, the only desk that adjusts to your ambition and your posture. FlexiDesk. Sit, stand, conquer.
Mark, I have a question. Yes. Do you use the same ChatGPT prompt for all of these?
Kind of, yes.
Oh, I love it. So it's learning from itself.
Yep. All right, everyone, shall we kick off this shindig?
Hell yeah. Do it. Rockapella.
Yes. No, Markapella.
Markapella.
I said that in another episode. I was like, sing it, Markapella.
All right. Hey, Mark. Maybe not for this episode, but I request a TV theme song episode of Next Topic songs.
You know, I had thought of that before, and I have like 4 in my mind already. But
yes,
this week's theme is songs from 1999.
Ooh.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my internet bills? You pay my automobiles? If you do, then maybe we could chill. I don't think you do. So first topic will do.
It'll have to do.
Good for nothing type of brother. Silly me.
All right, we're gonna start the show.
Another. Sorry.
We're gonna start the show a little differently. So Yvonne and John, go ahead and just gush over the New York Football Giants.
Yvonne, you can start.
Open-ended topic. Okay.
I'm excited. I pretend like we're going to win games, but I am excited.
I mean, we're going to win more games, right?
I would hope so. We got some good picks.
I mean, they did.
If we could just beat the Patriots, I would be.
They did a lot of really.
You just care about one win.
Listen, they did a lot of really cool, exciting things. The defense. I mean, every Giants fan loves the big blue wall. They love the defense. So the defense, very good, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that I can hope that an offense with Malik Neighbors, starting with Russell Wilson, but I want Jackson Dart by the end of the season because I think this man, I think he is the right guy, and I don't want them to rush him, but I think he's the right guy. He seems very smart. He seems very sort of conscientious about his decisions. He loves his family. He talks about his brother. He was real, and I talked about the rookie minicamp in the last show. The rookie minicamp was really fun to watch. They were really fun. Jackson Dart threw a dime. I mean, I know it's not anything, but he threw a dime. And I mean, I don't know, but he's fucking handsome too, right? Like he looks like he's a quarterback of an NFL team.
Like he could play the role of quarterback in a
crush,
movie.
I think.
Yes, he could play the role of quarterback in a movie.
Total man crush.
I do have a man crush on Jackson Dart.
Someone's excited. But I'm looking at this schedule.
My daughter's here, so you guys talk.
Oh, hi, Jamie.
Hey, hi, Jamie.
I'm looking at this schedule, and the beginning of it is brutal. The first 4 games, it's like a litmus test of. Well, I mean, I guess it's not that bad. I mean, Dallas, we don't, who knows how they're going to be.
I mean,
Chargers are
it's
so
bad.
up and down.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
But Chargers could be tough. Kansas City and Washington, though, that's going to be pretty rough. Saints, then
Washington
Philly.
Is...
Denver is tough. Philly again. Right?
The Saints aren't going to be good.
Division.
No, the Saints are terrible. You should destroy the Saints.
The thing is, though, the Giants' defense, I think, is so good that I actually think they have the potential to at least split the division games. Go 3-3. I think they played their division really, really tough. So I really think it could happen. I really do. The finals might be like 6-3. It might be an awful game, but at the I think their defense is going to keep them in most games. I think.
Any games that you guys would want to go to see this new guy, see Jackson Dart, see if he's going to be the future. So
well, every Giants fan, I love to beat the Cowboys.
Very true.
Because fuck the Cowboys, straight up.
And obviously the Patriots game.
And we'll beat the Cowboys because they're terrible. So that also sounds great.
I agree. And definitely the Patriots game.
Well, Yvonne's like, well, I'm going to the Patriots game.
Yeah, that one sounds like I want to go to. That'll be a lot of fun. you got the Patriots that have just pretty much retooled and reloaded over the last 2 seasons. They're ready to step it up and play big. Giants are going to figure it out. We'll see if they can just launch with what's going on so far or it's going to take a little time. I mean, that'll be a fun one.
Malik Neighbors is a good wide receiver. You can't say he's not.
He's
right?
a great receiver.
Tyron Tracy Jr., totally, I think maybe the dark horse pick of the year last year.
He's no Saquon, but he's a decent back.
1,000 yards, that's enough. I need 1,000 yards
season.
Out of a rookie. I'm pretty happy about that.
It's a very good season.
Yeah.
With a quarterback that works, even if Russ plays, maybe Russ for 4 or 5 or even 6 games, I think Russ starts until he sucks. I don't know if they go to Jameis
that'll
next.
Be game 2.
Shut up. Russ had a great season. Russ will do fine.
When they're 1-4 after the first 5 games, they're going to pull Russell.
Well, I think they're going to pull. I mean, I think it's going to look a lot like the Bills season when they pull Josh Allen. I think that they're going to be hesitant, but
that lasted 2 quarters before they were
because Nathan Peterman was a fucking
Nathan
joke.
Peterman
but
sucks.
I mean, what I more mean is that they won't be scared of it, but they're not going to do it right away.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Yvonne?
You think they'll go to Jackson after Russ, or are they going to go to Jameis after Russ?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I would have been happy with Jameis and then whatever rookie they pulled. And they pulled Russ, and Russ is a better quarterback than Jameis. So
do they keep both of those two?
They did. They also have Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito's just hanging out.
At the end of roster cutdown, right? Are all 4 of those guys going to be on the team or what?
Well, I think Tommy gets cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy probably gets cut. And then Jackson will be the emergency QB. So he'll be able to dress for games, but he won't actually officially be like an active roster.
I mean, they traded up in the first round. They all liked him. His interviews went really well. Everything about Jackson Dart's situation with the Giants, because I've seen all the video now, it all went really well. He's the future. That's the plan.
Yep. Seems a lot more promising than...
I am more excited about Jackson Dart at 24 than I was at Daniel Jones at 6. I think that was a fucking travesty.
That was a terrible... Yeah, I was going to say, there's awful. A lot more promise for Dart than Daniel Jones.
And I think a lot of the hope on Jackson Dart, for me, is that he has the stamp of approval from the golden child, Eli Manning. Eli loves Jackson Dart. And I said that 6 months ago on the show.
You say that every week.
Yeah, because I fucking love him. But I mean, right? I don't say it every week. It's not relevant every week, but you asked the question, Mark.
I did.
All right, so we're out of time.
Now we know your undying love for Jackson Dart.
Yeah. We're out of time, but final thoughts. Yvonne, how many games are the Giants going to win this year?
Am I supposed to give like a hopeful answer?
I mean,
all of them.
No. Let's not be. Let's be reasonable. They're not going to win all of them. They're not going to win all of them. But what would you be happy with? Like in a rebuilding.
Third. We need some forward movement.
You want 6? Do you think
6 is more than last year?
Do we think Brian Dable keeps his? Do we think Brian Dable keeps his job at 6?
Nope.
No,
I don't either.
I think you need to get to 7 or 8.
No.
I think they need 8, and I'm hoping for 8. I'll be happy with 8.
Love 8. That would be exciting.
8 would be great. 8 would be great.
That's some good progress. Yeah.
There we go.
I don't see it.
That's going to be tough with that schedule.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Pete, you're going to like this one.
Okay. Maybe even a wild card.
Excited.
I can dream.
Where can next topic be? The Lord took God away from me. We've got on tangent, but it still turned out good. So I can see next topic when I leave this world.
Damn.
Pete, buddy, I'm sorry. I don't have any football questions. I thought I might, but I don't.
That's why I was football centric in my bonus topic to help balance the show.
I love it, man. That's so great. It's so great. All right.
Energy.
So, news out of the MLB makes it clear to me that Commissioner Rob Manfred must listen to our show. It was announced on Tuesday that baseball has removed Pete Rose, Shoeless Joe Jackson, and other deceased players from the ineligible list. He went on to say that he doesn't see the reason to punish people past their passing in this proclamation. So this makes 2 of the greatest hitters of all time eligible for the Hall of Fame now. Do we think the change in Manfred and the MLB's feelings is related to their relationship with many mainstream gambling methods? Or do we think it has to do with the many petitions at the removal of Rose and other players from the list?
I'd say probably a little bit of both. Times have changed.
I don't think it really
preach morality and cash gambling checks at the same time. So
yeah,
right.
I honestly don't think it really has. I honestly don't think it really has anything to do with their sponsorships. I think it's he got a lot of pressure to do this. I think
he did
from the court of public opinion. Yeah,
people have been talking about it for a really long time.
And I will say this: so he's the one that stressed this. It was a lifetime ban.
Right, and they're dead.
No longer with us.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and Shoeless Joe is dead, and he talked about in his statement, no bigger punishment than being out of the game until you're dead. But then he doesn't see reason to punish them past that, which I think is reasonable. It's a reasonable answer, but it just feels. I don't know. It feels like they're making a lot of money from DraftKings. And
absolutely.
They really want to keep making a lot of money from DraftKings. And, to say that gambling in itself is wrong from sports players And it is, right, because we have to have the quality, the integrity of the game, right?
Well, yeah, you can't bet on the sport that you're directly playing. That's a little.
People are.
I know.
He was just looking to supplement his paychecks. He was betting on his team to win. That's
right.
Overwhelming majority of the games that he bet on.
Yeah, then I guess you got to look into intent for it.
And it was never as a player; it was just as a manager. Well, that they know of.
Right. There's so much about sports gambling back in the 70s and the 80s that were a little taboo. I mean, I was just having this conversation with Jamie because we were talking about Italian people. I was just like, yeah, sports gambling used to be illegal and alcohol used to be illegal and the mafia made a lot of money on all this stuff,
yes,
right? Sports books. And this is why the mafia originally isn't a thing anymore. Is besides illegal drugs, there's nothing for them to push.
Yeah. I mean, the Shoeless Joe, I wasn't 100% on board with just because, he definitely, for the integrity of the game, that whole thing, he totally, phoned.
And that was more corrupt. I think Shoeless Joe is a worse offense than Pete Rose, for sure.
Can you tell me more about Shoeless Joe? I don't know who this guy is.
Did you ever hear the Black Sox scandal?
No, there's a lot of baseball history I don't know.
So I believe, John, correct me if I'm wrong, this was they're called the Black Sox because they were on the White Sox, but it's a black mark of the team because they were like throwing games so that they could win money on the side.
Ooh, that's the bad part of sports gambling.
And it was the whole team, and they were throwing it, and this was
And Shoeless Joe just happened to be the best player on that team.
Right, and this was a long fucking time ago. This was in the teens and 20s.
John, did you look into whether or not Pete Rose can actually make it into the Hall now? Because that's another caveat. Well, I don't understand how that happens because his name shouldn't be on the ballot anymore.
Yeah, he is not ineligible. They're literally removing him from the ineligible list, and it just feels to me like, besides the symbolism of it, they're doing it for a reason. I almost don't think it's going to take a long time.
Well, that's the other thing. So the baseball writers, I believe, still have to vote him in, assuming that's the way that he gets voted in. And
Pete Rose is the greatest hitter of all time. There's no question.
Keep in mind, Barry Bonds technically has the most home runs, but he's not going to get voted into the Hall of Fame because of just the whole... We're
not talking about steroids.
Well, that's actually
Mark, we're talking about sports gambling.
Yeah. But the point that I'm trying to make is that people still have to vote him into the Hall of Fame. So if people still are mad at him or they think that the band should still be relevant, then they're not going to vote him in. And you need 75% of people to vote you in. Again, assuming that's the way that he gets in, because that's the way that people normally get in. But I don't think he's eligible for that process anymore.
Yvonne, I have a generic question that is related to this for you. And just to put it in terms, we're not talking about baseball. If you do a thing better than everyone else, and you are caught cheating, not really related to the way you do the thing, do you deserve praise for the thing? Right? If you're really good at selling houses and you happen to be a, street racer, do you deserve to get awards for selling houses?
Of course.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Right. One has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah, one has nothing to do with the other. It has nothing to do with his hitting prowess or his skill as a baseball player.
Something to do with the game. It's just.
But after his career was done, like he's not getting in the Hall of Fame for his manager time.
Right.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I actually believe that Pete Rose deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He is the all-time hit leader.
One of the greatest snubs in sports history. Yeah.
Sure. They've talked about this for decades now.
And in the 80s where baseball was still hard.
Right. Before analytics took over the game.
Right. And time.
All right, what else you got for me, Mark?
I wish you would talk about next topic, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. I would understand. I would understand. So if
Nice.
you aren't a Celtics fan, you're probably not aware of the name Wyc Grousbeck, who leads the group that currently owns the historic franchise. Now, the Grousbeck family bought the team back in 2002 for a measly, check this out, $360 million. But they turned that into a mega profit by selling it to an investment firm led by Bill Chisholm for a cool $6.1 billion. I'd say that's quite the ROI right there. Now, Chisholm grew up in a suburb of Boston and is the managing partner to SGG Partners, who currently own about $12 billion in assets. Assuming the deal goes through, the final sales price will surpass the previous high for a sports franchise, with that being the Washington Commanders. In actuality, Forbes actually lists the Celtics as the 19th most valuable sports franchise, with the Dallas Cowboys being the highest at $10.1 billion. So everyone, will we expect any changes to how the Celtics are run when the sale goes through officially? And will we see other franchises turn over their ownerships?
So
I don't really know what to say with this, Mark, because franchises will be sold when they are profitable. They're assets, and they're expensive assets. They're still assets.
They're all pretty profitable at this point.
I don't blame Wyc for selling the team, because they're paying mucho dollars to all their players right now, and there's so much luxury tax. I mean, sell high, right? This is probably going to be the highest the Celtics going to be for a while.
Yeah, until they lose.
Easy there.
Mm-hmm.
Easy there.
But even, I mean,
thanks, fan.
Even so, I mean,
I was conflicted. I was gonna take my jerseys and cut them in half and sew them together, but
I love it.
Which one do I wear?
I just
go ahead, Pete.
I was gonna say, I feel like sports teams, especially the NBA and the NFL, they're just going up and up and up. They're just, where's the ceiling, right? They're always growing year to year. These leagues, the TV deals always get renegotiated bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Salary caps go up and up and up. I mean, it's just, I mean, if you can afford one, it's a pretty good thing to get involved. So, are they selling it though to a group? What's the details of this sale? So
it's like a private equity group almost.
Okay. So they're
essentially it's a business group. So they're going to probably treat this like a business. Or is it going to be like the Celtics, because the Red Auerbach did a lot of things very differently back in the day. Yvonne, did you see the series on the Celtics on Max?
No, I haven't saved. I haven't watched it yet though.
It's got the whole history of the franchise, and the Celtics did a lot of firsts back in the day. They drafted the very first black player. They had Bill Russell was the first black coach in the NBA, and he was a player at the time as well. They did a lot of things, even though it was also one of the more racist cities in the country. But that's another story. They did things differently than most, and Wyc did did the same thing. He did eventually get the team into analytics, but I mean they made big moves, especially in the last few years, when Danny Ainge with the helm, because they drafted Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and now signed to these big max deals, but also got big key role players like Drew Holiday, Derek White. Mm-hmm. I mean,
you better say Derek White's name after yesterday.
They're going to be expensive though for the next few years. So the good businessman that Wyc is, he's like, let's.
Can I ask you an interesting question? And let's relate the sale of the Celtics to, let's say, the sale of the Bills to somebody who loves Buffalo and who invested in the team and made it better because he loves Buffalo. Do we think that an investment group is going to make it better or worse? Because I think it might make it worse if they turn them into too much of a product.
Yeah, that's what I'd be worried about.
If they treat it too much like a business, then the product potentially could be worse.
And they're going to, because they're a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see that the Celtics were the 19th most valuable franchise. I mean, I think everyone knew with the Cowboys, but guess who's number 2?
We don't know, Mark.
The Golden State Warriors, an NBA franchise.
I was going to guess it was an NBA team.
Really?
Wow.
And number 3 is the Los Angeles Rams.
It's a huge market. That's probably why.
Number 4, number 5, John, you'll agree, Yankees and Knicks.
Hell yeah. I mean, James Dolan is a scumbag, but at least he likes money and is a person, right?
Yeah. Is he a person? That's yet to be.
And I mean, the same with Hal Steinbrenner. Hal Steinbrenner he's cheaper than George was, which sucks, but at least he has all of that like internal angst about his family's legacy. So like, I would be wary selling your team to an investment group. Truly.
Yeah.
That being said, on paper, the Celtics are the best team in the NBA. Straight up. And when the series started, I had no qualms. And I told this to the market, and I said it on the show. I had no qualms in the Knicks winning. I didn't think they were going to win. Now, things have happened, and I think differently now.
Well, yeah.
But
Who knew?
I saw an article somewhere in the New York, maybe in the Post. The Celtics were built to win championships, and the Knicks were built to beat the Celtics. And OG and Bridges were built to guard Tatum and Brown. Straight up, that's the reason they were hired.
Go to that a little bit later because I think John has a topic about this. But guess
I do.
The biggest thing that I saw on this, that like the biggest eye-opening thing. Guess where the Dodgers are in this list? 24th. They're valued at $5.45 billion.
Well, we've already said that the Dodgers are shuddering once all these deals come about.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure that whole value is just in Shohei's contract. So, you know,
and the fact that they're not that I mean, they're profitable. They're not that profitable. I mean, Chavez Ravine is still a hole. I've been to Chavez Ravine. It's not a good stadium.
The Las Vegas Raiders are at number 11.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right.
Houston Texans are actually worth more than the Celtics.
In this very exciting topic, Mark, final thoughts because we're out of time.
Oh, I thought we did final thoughts.
I don't know. Say something cool.
Yeah.
That's not my job. Your job is to say something cool.
Or we can just be done.
Or we can just be done.
All right.
You suck.
Good ending.
It wasn't good at all. I'll find something.
I know. I was going to reorder.
Next topic. Let the rhythm take you over. Next topic. Te quiero, amor mío. Te quiero.
So we're gonna put Pete out for a little bit longer. We're gonna have one more NBA topic. The NBA draft lottery was this week, and in a shocking twist of fate, with their 1.8% chance, the Dallas Mavericks won the number 1 pick and probably Cooper Flag. Oddly, the top 3 was made up of not the teams you'd think, with the Spurs getting number 2 with the 6.3% chance, and oddly, the 76ers getting number 3 after getting knocked out in the first round of the NBA playoffs just last year. So, I don't think I understand arena sports drafts, with the Mavericks finishing just 4 games under 500 after maybe the worst trade in NBA history. How do they deserve the number 1 pick over clearly bad teams like the Wizards, Hornets, Jazz, and Pelicans?
The lottery system is a weird way to just kind of stop tanking, even though teams still
allegedly
do it.
It's a lottery. They actually used to.
Do you think it's fixed?
I think.
Oh my God! This year is fixed.
I think back in the 90s, they
100%.
actually used to do the live picks of the balls, because it's literally like in the regular lottery. It's a giant ball with some ping pong balls in it, and they're supposed to pick out of it.
If they're not doing that, then that's freaking fixed.
And it's just for the top 3. It's just for the top 3, because after that, then they go by record.
Okay. Like,
how do the Wizards not get number 1 of those? How?
Right.
The Wizards were terrible.
They
won 17 games, and not from tanking, from being bad.
So what was their percentage? Because, right, the worst teams do get a higher percentage in the lottery, right?
Yes. They get essentially more ping pong balls.
Yes. So we need Yolanda Vega to save us. Select the balls.
I mean, this happened
14%, by the way.
Yeah, this happened to the Celtics when Tim Duncan was supposed to be the number 1 draft pick. They had by far the worst team in the league, and again, it wasn't because they did it on purpose. They just had a terrible roster that year, and they didn't get any of the top 3 picks that year, even though they were the odds-on favorite to get.
I mean,
that's gross.
Okay, you run the Dallas Mavericks, and you trade Luka Doncic, probably one of the most generational players that are currently playing. And you're like, you know what? I'm just going to draft Cooper Flag.
Yeah. It all
one of the most generational players that probably ever is playing.
It all seems well. Pump the brakes on that one, okay?
I mean, he's a generational college player.
Okay.
And I know it doesn't entirely transfer, but he's very good at basketball.
I'm not 100% convinced he's a generational player. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think he's that.
And can we discuss how many top 3 picks the Spurs have had in the last 5 years?
So many.
So many picks. Oh my God! Run your team better.
This is why everyone thinks that part of the NBA lottery is fixed.
It's fixed.
100%.
It has to be fixed.
The Sixers get a lot of high picks too.
The Mavericks.
Thomas, how do you really?
The Mavericks were in the play-in. They were in the play-in for the playoffs. You guys. They played for the playoffs this year.
Seems so fucking shady.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't do a live drawing. That to me sounds like
it's because they want to fix it.
It's so stupid. Yeah. That should be.
This
is the kind of stuff that like, not the FCC, but like, we don't have an agency, do we, to like make, this? You talk about integrity of the game, like how much they crack down on anyone,
NBA,
like any players or anything trying to gamble or whatever. It's like, this is one of the biggest parts of the game. Like this affects teams for years down the line.
The Wizards are going to win 15 games next year, and I know a Wizards fan, and he's pissed because he just gets to have a bad team again.
I think they've had a bad team for the last 20 years.
For a long time. They're very bad at basketball.
Even Michael Jordan became a terrible player when he was on the Wizards.
Yeah, that is a truth fact.
Pete, what great insight.
I mean, that's the only reason I knew about the Wizards, because Jordan was like, yeah, all this winning and awesome play, I'm going to stop all of that and own this weird team called the Wizards and just suck and then go out with a whimper.
Yeah, basketball players make a lot of money, but basketball franchises are very expensive. So, like, he wanted to buy one, and it's the one he could afford.
But then he played on it.
Well, then he played on it because
really
narcissists are going to narcissist. I mean, right?
He took that personally.
Yeah. He also played baseball for like a minute, right?
Yeah. That's how he got out of getting his powers stolen in Space Jam. So that was actually a good thing.
I don't know. A minute left. I think we have to end at Space Jam.
That's fine.
All right.
That was great, Pete. What a great line. Oh my God.
We'd like to thank another fake sponsor, Scream Jar. You guys gotta love this one. For when you need a primal scream on the go. Scream Jar. Bottle the chaos. Release it later.
Bottle the chaos.
I love that line.
Can I just a little aside? 44 years old. My year has been really a lot of bullshit. First primal scream ever. Totally helpful.
I could see that.
I literally had this very my dad, Yvonne, this year, my dad had a stroke, and we've been taking care of him, and it's been a lot. But the first weekend he was home, it was a lot. And essentially, he almost fell on me. I mean, he would have been stuck because he's like 210 pounds. And I was all jazzed up and I got him safe. And I literally I have to go do something. I don't know what's happening. And I walked out my parents' front door and I screamed loud as I could.
Wow.
Big open area, echo, echo, echo. And I was like, I feel better.
By the way, John actually grew up across the street from the Giants owners.
He did. I gotta say,
I don't know why. The Steelers owners.
Yes.
I think I brag about that more than you do.
Yeah, it's a great story.
that is pretty.
They
amazing.
were fun. This is a fun as hell family. I mean, I hung out with Dan Mara, who is a scout right now for the Giants. And
that's freaking cool.
Kate Mara, who is Kate Mara.
All right. If it's true, don't leave me all alone around here, wondering if you're ever gonna take me there. Tell me what you're feeling, cause I need to know. Yes, you gotta let me know which way to go for next topic, yo. Next topic, yo. Tell me what you're feeling for next topic, yo.
That was so good.
That was good.
You guys
That was so
know what
good,
song that is?
Yeah.
It sounds really familiar. I was actually going to say, I think that's what
I need
inspired
to
Fisher
know.
Price to do the
I need
pop
to
songs
know.
and the coffee maker that Liam likes so much. It sounded a lot like that.
Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know.
All right, so we all grew up in the 90s and remember the famous East Coast, West Coast rap battles. And there's been real beef that ultimately led to the lost lives of Biggie Smalls and Tupac. With it being about 30 years later, we still have feuds amongst hip-hop artists, but one in particular seems to be unfolding a little bit differently. Now, Kendrick Lamar released a song called Not Like Us, and Drake claims the song is trying to ruin his character by mentioning him as being a pedophile. How did Drake respond to this diss track? By filing a lawsuit, of course, against Lamar and the record company UMG, which coincidentally is also his record company. Drake would ultimately update his lawsuit to include the Super Bowl halftime performance, saying that it was further damaging his reputation. We've seen the new generations acting differently than what we did back in our day, but it's curious if we may see similar behavior from the people that receive participation trophies. So everyone, is Drake filing a defamation lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar the way that rappers will be from now on?
I thought he was suing the record
and how ridiculous is this?
He's suing the record
company. Is he
company?
suing Kendrick? Yeah, I don't think he's suing Kendrick.
No, he's suing Kendrick and the record company.
Both.
I mean, just imagine if everyone sued Eminem. You know how many songs he made about people? Okay.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I guess this is better than them shooting each other, right?
Maybe. They may end up there anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Right, that's right. If they don't get the result they want in court,
truth
that's
aside,
plan B.
If someone pretty much said I was a pedophile on an international broadcast, I would probably sue them.
Yeah, I'd be very upset.
Especially if I had a public character that, I mean, like, if I'm a famous person and someone says I'm a horrible person, I mean, if that's not true, you have to sue them. I mean, libel is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a defamation lawsuit.
Right.
So do you think there's I mean, diss tracks are gonna be a thing probably for a while. So you think we're gonna see more of it?
Probably. I mean, that seems to be the popular thing to do. Like, everybody does diss tracks.
I mean, how much do people actually think that Drake is a pedophile?
There's also insult comics, and I mean,
I don't know Drake well enough.
Have you seen the Tom Brady roast? Tom Brady's not suing anybody.
Yeah,
right.
No, because that was all in good fun.
It was mean as shit.
It was mean as shit, but
that thing was mean. Tom Brady, after the Tom Brady roast, because he thought it was all cool. After the Tom Brady roast, he was like, "I don't think I thought about my children when I said yes to doing this." Oh, no. And he said that. I mean, he's like, yeah. I mean, insult comedy is the thing. Like, it almost makes me think that because Drake is being so butthurt about it, that he's probably guilty.
Really?
Right?
I
don't know. I mean, like you said,
but it's such a tough line. You don't know.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Yvonne?
I was going to say, because he said, maybe it's true. I mean, you are who you surround yourself with. He hangs out with some questionable people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're in a year where all the Diddy party pictures came out, and that was all horrible. I mean, rich people are horrible. They're horrible.
This is why I don't like rich people.
They're so bad. And the thing, like, absolute power corrupts absolutely, but like we see that, like, Diddy's a bad person. And Drake's probably a bad person. I mean, Kendrick doesn't seem like he's a bad person. He seems awesome, but...
And that's not saying that, like, there aren't bad poor people, too. It's just, the problem is the rich are enabled to be really, to, like, take action on their terrible impulses and make a much bigger crater with it.
Well, and, like, it's the same. You talk about, like, child stars, right? Like, a lot of child stars get into shit that they can't.
Oh yeah,
they can't handle, and it's because they've always been very important. And once you have, imagine living your life and not having any restrictions ever. You never have a restriction.
We see that with athletes all the time too.
But at the same time, also not having a proper childhood either. It's like, you're kind of robbed of that youth too. So it's like, it's coming from both directions there.
Well, you have kind of a vision of this right now, Pete. And this is the thing that amazed me about parenthood so much. I could have told Jamie, and I'm not a monster, so I didn't, but I could have told Jamie that the sky used to be purple. And if I said that with absolute seriousness, she would have believed it. because she has no reason not to. And they're blank slates. So, and I say that because if no one ever tells you the difference between right and wrong, because you always get what you want, because you've always been famous, you never learn. You just never learn. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep.
Hey. Yvonne, this is the reason I like the show so much, because we always go on these random tangents, and I like to push at the boundary because it's important to talk about.
I think this is a relative tangent to where we started.
Yeah. So how do we make rich people better, Pete?
By making them not rich.
I was going to say make them poor.
I mean, is
Tax
that an
the
answer,
rich, baby?
though?
Yes. Redistribute this fucking wealth, because there's way more of it than any of us can comprehend. It's just all in the top 0.001% of people.
Okay, so let's think about that as an equality question then, right? If everyone has the same opportunity, does everyone succeed? Or is there a bit of the person that comes into account?
It's both.
It was absolutely a person.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely.
Yeah, it's definitely the person.
If you
could
had
have all the
a
opportunity in the world and do nothing with it.
All right, so you have a good idea. Would you be able to do that idea better if you were just given $7 million to start it? But
if you had a good idea, let's rewind. If you never had to fight for anything, would you have a good idea?
Oh, I mean, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I don't know. If we had a little...
Yes, though, right? Yes. I don't know. I think we're out of time.
Yeah,
I think we've lost this. We've lost.
I thought we were good.
I'm so lost.
John, you had a good ending on this one, and then we just kind of rambled on.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I want to get away. I want next topic today.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually worked, Pete, but thank you.
It's super good.
I don't know if it's synced
right.
up, yeah.
Pete, I have a question for you before we get into another question you have nothing to do with.
Okay.
It's a physics question, you guys. So the folks at CERN have fulfilled the dream of medieval alchemists successfully transmuting lead into gold through nuclear physics using the Large Hadron Collider. This is done, by the way, in microscopic amounts at the heart of Alice. This is a large ion collider experiment. During these experiments, high-energy collisions of lead nuclei can momentarily recreate, I learned all these things, quark-gluon plasma, which is a state of matter that existed just millionths of a second before the Big Bang. The gold creation, however, happens when the lead nuclei almost collides, but they miss. So first off, how cool is this? Does this rank among some of the coolest accidental scientific discoveries simply from the ancient lore around the lead to gold process? And do you think they will try to ramp up the creation process now that it's known that it's possible?
I think it probably costs more energy to do this than the gold is worth. So
gold is worth a lot now, man.
It is worth a lot. So maybe, but I mean, also, do you know how big the Large Hadron Collider is? You know how much like liquid helium you have to like pump into that to run all the superconducting magnets to accelerate stuff this fast?
Right now.
So
yeah.
All right. So basically, they're like, actually, the concept is simple. If you could just strip 3 protons out of lead, you got gold.
That's right.
Easier said than done, right? It took 1,500 years of scientific development and building a giant particle accelerator with superconducting magnets that's like 7 miles long underground. Right? Could you imagine going back in time and telling some poor alchemist that just, shit out of luck, and you're like, we figured it out.
We figured it out, you guys. It's done. No. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
So you lost you a little bit, John, but you said this was accidental. So what were they trying to do?
The Alice experiment is literally to study the Big Bang. That is what it's for. And what they were trying to do is study quark gluon protons. They were trying to study matter, how it happened. And they were like, oh, when we miss, because we miss sometimes.
Sure.
That's gold. Like we're looking at it. It's happening.
Right. Hey, do you see that? Yeah, it's hard to get, accelerating over miles and miles to get one single atom of two things to hit perfectly, right?
Right.
So,
I mean, with regards to things that we discovered accidentally, penicillin
a lot of
is definitely
things
up there.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of good stuff.
Keep in mind, Viagra was meant to help with blood flow and not necessarily for erectile dysfunction. So,
until Pfizer's like, I got an idea of how to market.
And
this.
then Wegovy and Ozempic were supposed to help out with type 2 diabetes, and now everyone's
and they still do
weight loss.
Yep. And then they made the commercial.
I do love the
Ozempic.
I do love the commercials though. They're just promoting the weight loss, and then they say one of the side effects is, it might help out with type 2 diabetes.
Side effects may include helping your diabetes. Wow, that's
what were you going to say,
society.
Pete? We're like a minute away from what you were saying.
Yeah, you mentioned quarks and gluons. You guys know what quarks are? Quarks are atoms are.
Tell us.
So we initially thought in the 19th century that an atom was the smallest thing, right? Like you can't get smaller than that. Well, it turns out you could. Atoms are made out of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Now, electrons, those are as small as you get. But then they're like, apparently protons and neutrons are not the smallest things of those either. Those are made up of multiple different kinds of quarks. So before, in the days before, like shortly after the Big Bang, there was just everything was way too hot. Universe is still way too dense, way too much energy. It was impossible for things like the strong and weak nuclear forces that bind these quarks into protons and neutrons to actually do anything. So
I love
you just have this giant soup of like primordial primary particles basically and antiparticles that were making a lot of collisions, making stuff even hotter. It was fucking chaos.
This is by far the nerdiest topic we've ever talked about on this show.
Oh, so you remember that question on the wheel?
I was like literally looking through Twitter, and I looked through Fox News,
it's
Fox
a cool
Sports,
story.
and I was like, "CERN, they made gold. This is amazing."
Yeah.
Pete's gonna be so happy.
I'm pretty
excited.
Sure,
Yvonne, I'm pretty sure right now you're real estating right now, aren't you?
Maybe.
I'm so sorry.
No such thing.
Guys, this is on a sports and pop culture
Pete,
contest. Podcast.
We got a minute, Pete.
We're talking about elementary physics particles. But hey, you know what? That's why you come here to listen.
I learned a lot.
It's really good.
I think we should end it.
We end on that.
No, it's so early. 44 seconds. We already went early on one.
What else do you want me to talk about here? Actually, I forget what the gluons do. Let's look at the list of elementary particles here.
Let's talk more about accidental scientific discoveries. I mean, Adderall wasn't meant to get kids through college, but it is.
Okay. Yeah.
It absolutely does.
It absolutely is. I just think, I think it's a cool as hell experiment. And the fact that, they are trying to discover.
It sounds like a cool experiment, yeah.
And the fact that they discovered how to make gold besides itself is interesting. But the fact that they're experimenting on how everything happened, the thing that lost me in my physics education was quantum physics, like the theoretical physics, like the math behind it, like the fact that
nobody actually understands that, so it's fine.
We can't.
Even the people that make stuff using quantum physics don't understand.
We can't see with any material, with any accuracy, we can't see the things that exist in quantum physics, but we can prove it with math. And that's the beauty of math. The fact that it just is. Math just is.
But the coolest part about quantum physics is that, right, John, you say like, we can't measure it, we can't prove it. And it's not because we don't have good enough tools. It's because that's the whole point.
That's the whole
It's immeasurable
point.
Because when you measure it, it's no longer in a superposition. So then it's no longer it's no longer
all right.
Like
that's the slam dunk.
That's just
we're
freaking
done.
Crazy.
Physics, baby.
Physics.
So nerdy.
Yvonne, I was going to be a physics teacher and I became a computer scientist. Straight up, real story.
Yes.
All right. And I don't want the world to hear me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand When everything's made to be broken, well, I know that next topic's at hand.
Bow now, bow.
Yes, good song.
So there are a lot of high-profile trials happening right now or about to happen. Local to us East Coasters, we have the retrial of Karen Reed, who was fighting for her innocence behind the death of her cop boyfriend. We also have Diddy's trial, who is being accused of racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution.
And being gross.
And most recently, as of this taping, had his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura testify against his previous behaviors, including rampant drug use and abuse. And then there's a case that we've already discussed in this podcast between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, where we just heard that may involve testimony from the Eras Tour phenomenon known as Taylor Swift. So everyone, what trial are we most interested in?
Well, now I'm interested.
Karen Reed.
Yeah, Yvonne is obsessed with Karen Reed. Go ahead, Yvonne. Talk about that.
Yes.
Firstly, I should have worn my free Karen Reed t-shirt, right? Because she's
there you go.
definitely being set up. But I mean, just the mismanagement of evidence is fucking incredible.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah,
that
they definitely caught them planting stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, not planting, but
right.
So I'm completely lost. So explain the whole thing like I'm a baby.
So Karen Reed we call her an outsider because she lives in Mansfield, or is from Mansfield, but this case is in Canton. And it's a very incestuous town. And she's being accused of hitting her boyfriend, like in the middle of the night, leaving someone's house with her SUV and leaving him there to die in the front lawn. He was a Boston police officer. He died on the front lawn of a Canton police officer's house because he was hanging out with Canton police officers that night. And they're just saying, like, nobody saw a dead body on the front lawn coming and going all hours of the night. And she definitely did it. And I've been trying to get James to stand behind my car because I have a Lexus SUV and he's about 6'2", 230, so I can see if it would really happen, but he's not having it.
Wow, so you're trying to recreate the scene of the crime here, even.
I love this.
What if we just put my car in reverse and see if you go flying 10 feet and the dog attack you?
It won't hurt that much.
You'll be fine. You're strong.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Just put an extra mattress down behind there on the road.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, they're saying she did it from like a dead stop in a snowstorm. Like, my car's not moving very quickly.
How do you get traction during that?
So what really happened, Yvonne? Tell us your theories.
Yes.
So there's a couple. They had a German Shepherd that also magically disappeared 3 months later that did not like strangers. People have testified to that. And he does look like he was attacked by a dog. So one theory is that, he got attacked by the dog. Maybe it was outside in the front lawn, and that's where it happened. Another theory was he was inside the house and either gotten in an altercation with someone or potentially was in an argument, fell, hit his head because he did have a contusion to the back of his head. So,
okay.
And then dragged out. Sorry, something flying around. And then dragged out to the front lawn.
Did one of these Canton police officers kill him for reasons and then were pinning it on the girlfriend or whoever Karen Reed is?
So she has the girlfriend. One of the officers that was in the house they were hanging out with was an ATF officer.
Oh.
And
I've seen movies. I know cops do this.
On her. Right. He had a crush on her.
Oh.
So maybe.
Do you like true crime?
But I don't think she did it. Yes. I love all the murder shows.
I mean, that's truly right. We have a whole old person show about murder shows. I think murder shows are one of the biggest things in our modern pop culture society right now, for sure.
Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, all the good ones.
Jesus, that Dahmer fictional, the documentary, mockumentary, that show is fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
What's that one? I haven't heard about.
Hulu did a Dahmer show with Evan Peters. Pete.
Probably, if it was by Ryan Murphy, that he's one of his favorite.
Oh, that's right. All right, I do remember that coming out. I didn't watch it though. You said that's
called. It's literally called Dahmer. It's on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, that show was fucked up. I think that the idea of, I mean, and maybe because we've been socializing murder and crime for so long, that the idea of crime is very appealing. I mean, people are like, how can people be so messed up? Like, and most of our lives are incredibly normal and incredibly boring. I do the same thing almost every day, and it just is, right? So yeah, I feel you.
It's crazy.
So we talked a little bit about the Diddy trial earlier, but the whole Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively trial, I think is set to happen in a month or so. And I mean, that is, I know, and that has been the source of one of our more popular social media reels, has been talking about that particular trial. And there are people that are super passionate on both sides. Like, there's a big crowd on Justin Baldini's side, and then there's a big crowd on Blake Lively's side. And I don't necessarily know if they're on their side or they're just against the other. But I mean, the whole fascination with Taylor Swift in the world is going to make this trial even more appealing, potentially.
Why is she even involved? Can I ask? Because I seem to have missed why Taylor Swift is involved.
She's really good friends with Blake Lively, and there are potential conversations that they've had that, I don't know, Justin Baldoni is claiming that that something happened.
I mean, I know that Amber Heard pooped in Johnny Depp's bed because of, this kind of thing, and I never needed to know that, but I know that. That's like pop culture news. I don't know. We go back to rich people are terrible. Like Justin Baldoni, they're both probably terrible people, right?
But Blake Lively's married to Ryan Reynolds, and we love Ryan Reynolds.
I've never heard anything but good stuff with Blake Lively. So
Ryan Reynolds would not marry a horrible person, John.
But
Blake seems pretty amazing. And
in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni situation, I can't take Justin Baldoni's side because he seems like that gaslighter, handsome guy that like is perfect on the outside and shitball on the inside. And the things that he said or she said he did are things that men do all the time. So, I mean, I don't know. He seems guilty too.
They're both guilty.
I mean, the initial lawsuit was Blake suing him, right, over harassment.
No, he was Baldoni filed the first lawsuit against Blake, and
I thought it was the other way around.
Really? Yeah,
but only
I thought
because
this was a countersuit for defamation and stuff.
Ryan was being awfully obvious. Yeah. Anyway, we're at time. Mark, do you know what time it is?
It's the final topic. Did I clip?
Only a little. Only like a little.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I saved it till the end because I know this is going to be heated.
I'm excited.
After a disappointing yet completely expected loss, the Knicks will travel back to the Garden tomorrow for Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Coincidentally, on the same weekend that Juan Soto makes his return to Yankee Stadium. Not a coincidence. The world champion Celtics have outscored the Knicks by 35 points over the 5 games, yet find themselves still down 3-2 after Wednesday night's victory. The Celtics played an aggressive game with more than one crotch shot, making their way around social media, most notably for me, the knee by Jaylen Brown that oddly got Brunson fouled out of the game. I don't know how that happened. With Wednesday's win, do we think the Celtics are taking a page out of last year's Pacers playbook to handle the Knicks and Jalen Brunson? Or is the playbook without the centerpiece of injured superstar Jason Tatum just better?
I like physical Celtics. I like when they get handsy.
I mean, literally, wow. Brown grabbed Josh Hart's balls, like took a whole fucking handful.
Wow.
And Josh Hart's like, what's happening? It is 100% what happened. That definitely happened. It was on slow motion video on like 5 things I saw.
Okay.
Are you guys just crotch grabbers? Like, I don't know. I'm curious.
All right. The Celtics got kneed as well by Knicks players, first of all.
Right.
Next. All right. So let's go back to the game plan that the Celtics had. Now, the Celtics, yes, they didn't have their best player in Jason Tatum. Unfortunately, he did actually partially tore his Achilles. So Jaylen Brown had to step up. And
Derek White had to step up.
Well, here's what was different. I felt this was more the Celtics team that had won so many games during the regular season. They were moving the ball around. They weren't just playing hero ball. They still hoisted a lot of threes, but it wasn't just let me dribble a few times and then shoot a three. No, they were trying to move the ball around, dish it to the open man, and it was just a more fluid game plan and style of play. And
what I think was really
out.
What I think, well, they fucking mugged Jalen Brunson. It's not the reason the Knicks lost. The Knicks lost because they got outplayed in the second half. But they fucking mugged Jalen Brunson, and that's not like I'm not even questioning that. That happened. But what do you feel like the difference is? Tied at the half, and normally in the 5 games, in the 4 games, the Celtics are way ahead at the half, but tied at the half, literally, and then blew us out in the second half. Blew us out by a lot. It wasn't even close. Like, where does that come from?
It was literally the style of play. Like they were super aggressive in that third quarter. They were in the bonus with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. And Jalen Brunson, I think, got 4 of his 6 fouls in the third quarter or something like that.
5 of them in the. He got 5 of the 6 fouls, I think, in the third quarter.
Yeah. I think he definitely got all of them in the second half, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. I mean,
I bring up the Pacers last year. The Knicks beat the Pacers the Pacers beat the Knicks. That is not only because the Pacers, the Knicks were injured, but because they were very, very aggressive. And I don't necessarily know if the Knicks can handle that. I don't know if Jalen Brunson can handle that, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of a mistake in the first 4 games of the Celtics was to let Jalen Brunson cook, like to let him dribble and to make space and to draw fouls and to Jalen Brunson is so good when he's working, like he's driving and he's doing the thing he does, right? He's not big. Like that's another thing that the Celtics did wrong.
He's strong though. I mean, he was backing up in the low post against I think it was either Drew or Jaylen Brown, and he was being aggressive down low.
Yeah, for sure.
He's strong. He's not super athletic.
I also think, and I'm not going to bitch about. I'm not going to say, oh, they won because of the calls, because again, the Knicks got outplayed in the second half. But I think the calls were very Celtics leaning, and it makes me question. Shut the fuck up.
Right, they are never Celtics leaning. I don't want to hear it.
It just makes me question how many games they want to see this series go.
Well, they clearly wanted
a little bit.
They wanted 7.
A little bit.
The league wants this series to go 7 games.
Of course they do.
Right.
This is probably their biggest viewership of the season.
I mean, it's the game.
It's 2 big markets, and it's this crazy David versus Goliath story here.
Yeah. It's not David versus Goliath.
It's
a 2 seed. It's a 2 seed versus the 3 seed.
You're right.
The Knicks were very, very good. We won a ton of games. I think that
Goliath. Oh, it's the defending champions versus.
I think that the Knicks are being generally disrespected across sports media.
Oh, they're totally being disrespected.
They are, and that's why I'm saying. I'm not saying that's my opinion. I just feel like that's how they're trying to market it. Which, of course,
again, let's. This is not like the Lakers who made their way in at the end. This is not an 8 seed beating the 2 seed. This is a 3 seed beating the 2 seed.
They should be competitive.
It should be a 7-game series, and it might be. Though I hope we don't. I think the Knicks lose if they lose on Friday. Honestly, if they lose on Friday, I think the Knicks lose. So I hope that they don't. But I think that will be what happens.
Do you think that the game is going to be at MSG will be a little bit more competitive, or is it going to be a repeat of Game 5?
I think it will be a repeat of Game 4, which the Celtics could have won.
The Celtics technically could have won every single game.
I mean, the Celtics.
When you're up by 20 fucking points, you should not lose that game.
After 5 games, the Celtics have outscored the Knicks by 35. I added that stat on purpose. Our friend Aaron, said the Knicks have been up. The Celtics have been up by more than 20 than the Knicks have been up. And I told him, hey, I'm not exactly sure that's as good as you think it sounds.
Yeah.
This just means we blew you out in the third and fourth quarters 4 out of the 5 games. But, and the thing that makes me nervous is That's not how Game 5 went. So,
it's kind of what's kind of funny. So I wasn't able to go to the game because I was playing my own game last night.
Also, it was probably very expensive.
It was it was the battle of two teams for first place in the whole league. We were up by 3 runs. I don't know why my camera's moving. We were up by 3 runs.
It's trying to follow your
in the last inning. In the last inning, and we gave up 3 runs in the final inning, and it ended up being a tie. And I felt like fuck, I'm just like the fucking Celtics right now.
Oh.
Can we just talk about before we end? So Mark, Pete, and I, and Jotham, we were at the Met game on Monday night, and Mark had the whole game. Mark, we were watching the baseball game, but Mark had the basketball game on literally the whole time.
And you were not the only ones.
I'm not sure how your phone lasted.
Half that stadium was doing the same thing.
God bless Mark. He walked in and he found one Celtics fan and they hugged, which was beautiful.
Oh, that was funny.
But Knicks fans in front of us, Knicks fans behind us. There was one guy watching the game who was big and loud. And I looked at Mark and I'm like, hey, Mark, I love you, but I'm not getting into a fight for you tonight. So you just better watch yourself.
Yeah, that dude was very belligerent.
Very belligerent. He looked at us and he saw Mark's sweatshirt and he was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, it's okay. He's lost. We got him. And he was like, okay.
Mark diffused that very well. Yeah, I think you or Mark was like, yeah, I'm sorry I got lost. And like, that was a nice way to just laugh it off.
I think he was trying to pick a fight. And then he realized I wasn't an asshole. So it was like, all right, I'll let you be Celtics fan.
Right.
So in the end of the third quarter, the Knicks,
before the game's over.
The Knicks were getting blown out. The Knicks were getting blown out the whole game. They caught the same game story for game 1 through 4. The Knicks were getting blown out the whole game. They came back at the end of the third quarter, and then they won in the fourth. But at the end of the third quarter, when they took the lead, the Mets announcer, AV guy, he put the 3-score transition that got them the lead up on the giant jumbotron while the game was going on. I thought that was really fun. I thought that was fun.
Nice.
That and
there were a few "Let's go Knicks" chants.
Yep, Let's go Knicks, and then out of nowhere,
there was a fuck Boston. There was a fuck Boston. There was a fuck Yankees, which I thought that was just
that was the loudest chant in the stadium. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, it was like Yankees suck, and it was like, and the whole stadium erupted with that. We're like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's fine.
It's funny. Good times.
That is a really cool stadium. That's one of my favorite baseball stadiums to go to.
It's beautiful.
Citi Field. Citi Field's awesome. We had delicious food.
Do we have video and pictures of that up on the website?
Not yet, but I plan on uploading them.
Or to check the socials, yeah.
Stay tuned, everybody. I haven't even uploaded mine. I will.
Stay tuned, everybody. There's an epic video of Mark eating
our social media manager's been on vacation.
Sandwich.
And he posted one picture, but it was a good picture.
All right. Are we good?
I think so.
So that has been our topics. That has been our topics. We will be returning in 2 weeks with our friend Jeff Maynard. In the meantime, you can catch up on our old episodes on
for Pete's birthday.
www.youtube.com/@IfTheseBallsPod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little bell.
Tick.
We would like to thank our guests for joining us this week. Thank you, Yvonne.
Thanks, Yvonne.
Thank you.
You can follow or like us on our socials at IfTheseBallsPod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Gotcha for that. Our website is www.iftheseballscouldtalkpod.com. This is Mark Pesci, and for my partner John Companion and producer Pete Steffen, that's what we feel they would say if these balls could talk.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
You are not worthy.
If these